and get a signed agreed price for repairs with them, forward the signed agreed price over to Northland, and say, all right, this is what we're thinking it should be to repair. Shop's on board with that repair.
Oh, okay.
Now let's say the unit gets to the shop and there's additional damages that we didn't notice, then we can always do a supplement at that time.
Oh, okay.
All right. On the passenger side, the glove box, do you still have the sticker with all the information on the truck? Do you know? Because obviously the VIN's not right here.
Yeah, it's not there. I got it on my phone.
The insurance company would prefer it off the unit itself. Whether it's the frame rail, if I have to get it off the frame rail, then so be it.
I can send you the registration. You want all the info, with the info on it to your cell phone?
We can do that. Can I get the mileage off the unit?
Yeah. Turn it off here. I think you can push a button, but yeah, I guess you have to scroll. $785, $357. Oh,
Awesome. Sorry. If I just check the glove box or no?
Oh, go ahead.
If you don't mind.
There's a lot of stuff in there, but kind of just have to lift it. No, it's fine.
Thank you. Appreciate it. ISX 15?
Yeah.
You know how many horsepower?
400, I think.
400? How about the transmission? Heat Fuller 10?
13.
13? Oh, 13. Best angle I can get under this thing. The other side,
probably through here. Yeah, you can see how the flywheel housing is damaged there.
Is it cracked on that side or? Oh yeah, right here.
It's on that side.
Cracked on this side as well?
No, I think it's that side.
Only that side?
Yeah.
Let's see. Get up over here. So, at this point, for this specific loss with the Pontiac G5, she hit you on this side. What happened on the other side? Nothing happened? Alright. So So I'm only worried about these damages on this side here.
Yeah. Oh, we have the whole skirt assembly in there. We're gonna do the whole body work.
So
we have all
this rear fairing, was it on at the time of the loss?
No, we took these two parts off.
Okay.
The rails weren't like that.
Right. So the rails and your front chassis fairing, along with the obvious.
Luckily, you already have bought this whole assembly. It's in here.
Oh, it's in here?
Yeah.
So you bought this front chassis fairing already?
Yeah, both sides.
Okay.
And we were gonna order this part.
Right.
But it looks like it got hit right here too.
Right.
This wasn't like that. You know?
Gotcha. Yeah, I know.
Oh, we must have.
Depending on who you ask, this piece here is either a skirt or some kind of fairing or upper fairing or door fairing. So
yeah. They have a place, only they canceled my order. I don't know why.
Why did that?
Yeah.
Was it possibly due to COVID?
I don't know. I think it was. They put it part for auction. I think.
Oh damn. Okay. So is it used part?
No, it's brand new.
It was brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know depending on the manufacturer, they're having some major shipping delays and whatnot due to COVID.
Oh.
Like a Peterbilt headlight, 388. They say there ain't going to be any available till March. So, depending on the part and the availability. But you said you do have this front chassis fairing. And then, so ultimately, what I would need to do, since it's damaged, obviously the insurance company would pay. Do you have the invoice for that?
Yeah.
The chassis fairing that you guys purchased?
Yeah, I can send you that.
Because I might just use that part pricing.
Oh, okay.
At least possibly get reimbursed for it. And then, of course, the rails. I don't have to reach out to Freightliner to get the cost on this rail here. Then I have to reach out to get the DPF with all the brackets and harnesses and everything else.
It has the pump. Everything is on here on this side.
Right.
Just got squashed.
Yeah, it is squished pretty good. And then your flywheel housing. We might have to write up to check the transmission, make sure the transmission's good. How do you plan on getting the unit there?
Oh, we can tow it. I've got it towed here.
Oh, you had it towed here? Okay. What I would recommend is pay for it to have it towed and give me the invoice, and I can submit it to Northman.
Oh,
it's like, this is how much it was to tow to the nearest facility. Normally it would be covered, a tow to the nearest facility. Now, since you had it towed directly here, do you have that invoice as well?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. If you're going to give that to me as well, I don't know based on how your coverage reads what will or won't be covered. Because I know normally they would pay at least one tow to get it to the nearest facility.
Oh, okay.
So if you have it towed here and then have it towed there, or then keep having it towed, they may not cover all the tows.
Oh, okay.
So I can't tell you what they will or won't cover.
No, yeah, we paid for it here just to get it off the freeway.
Right. Oh yeah, no, I don't blame you. Yeah, so like I said, just submit everything you got, and to me, you have my business cards, my email, and what I'll do is I'll write everything up. When I write my report, I'll just let them know, hey, in order to avoid storage fees and whatnot, they had it towed to the hotel, and then they had it towed to the nearest facility, which is right up the street. It looks like.
And see if we camera on it too, just in case. Yeah. So it's
perfect.
Security.
So that's how I'll try to get everything covered, depending on how your coverage is, of course.
Oh, okay.
And real quick, write down these damages. And mounted splash.
I'd get you the receipt just for one side here, I guess, huh?
Yeah, no, that'll be fine. And chassis fairing, quads, mounts. tires or anything?
No, I had to cut that piece off. I don't know if you damaged
How many batteries are there?
it. There's 4 in there.
Do you recall when the last time they've been changed?
Oh yeah, we have received just a couple months ago.
If you could submit that as well, because they're going to take betterment on it, just like your tires, if we were to swap out your tires. So basically, they're going to say, we're going to give you a brand new part that's depreciable, and they'll take depreciation. So if you could say, hey, we just swapped them out a month ago or 2 months ago, then they only take maybe 5 or 10%. But if we can't prove that they're relatively new, they may take 50% on the cost of the batteries.
Oh, okay.
So if you can kind of submit that for me as well. Yeah, anything that's considered a maintenance part, if we put it in a better position than when it was, they have the right, I guess, so to speak, to take betterment on it. Same thing with like a tire. If a tire is like 8/30 seconds and we put a brand new tire on there, they're going to take something for it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's
but
a
if it
brand
didn't
new
get into
tire.
any tires or anything, have you noticed any gash or?
No, I haven't checked it, but this piece out here I had to break off, and the piece back there too was against. Kind of cool. Oh yes.
So she hit here.
Yeah, it looks like the tire's okay. We just got this tire too.
Did you?
Yeah.
At this point, that's what we'll do. I'll reach out to the shop. I'll let them know that this unit will probably be coming to them per the owner, because I can't tell you where to take it. You got to tell me where you're going to take it per Florida state law. So I'll let them know, reach out, confirm their labor rates, and then we'll write up a preliminary. I'll have to reach out to Freightliner for some of the parts. I got to use some OE parts here. And then we'll write our preliminary. I'll get an email from that shop. And in the meantime, if you can kind of coordinate getting this unit moved to that shop, get the invoice, send all those invoices to me. Invoice for the tow here, invoice for the tow there, invoice for the batteries, invoice for the side chassis fairing, just so I can get everything written up. And we'll try to get this completed as quickly as we can, so you're not down for too long.
Oh, okay. That way you can start evaluating all the other parts right now.
Right. Yeah, and at this point I can only write what I see. So let's say, for example, it did F up the transmission, then at that point you can always do a supplement. I'll have to get with the shop and figure out, all right, what's the best action for repairing. If it does go that deep, because what I may do is request that the shop, let's double check the flywheel housing and the transmission. Obviously the flywheel's cracked, but the transmission, let's make sure we're not repairing a potential total loss. Okay, I'll do a value on the unit. I think there should be enough value. But once we start replacing transmissions, and if there's a transmission harness that needs to be replaced, that stuff not cheap at all. But we may just run a quick value on it just to make sure. And based on how the vehicle sits prior to the loss, mileage, overall condition, and then go from there. But ultimately, if you want to start getting this unit moved, transported over there, I'll let Northland know that we were here, what you and I have discussed, and go from there.
Oh, okay. Let me ask you, so they're evaluating the truck at $38,000. That's what the insurance is there for.
Right.
And so how much would it take for them to just call it a total loss?
It's going to be ultimately whatever the value is. So you have a stated limit of 38. So they'll pay you up to $38,000.
Oh, okay.
All right. So let's just say, I'm not saying it's a total at all. Let's say if for whatever reason the numbers support it, they will pay you out your stated limit or the actual cash value, whatever's less. So let's say I do a value of the unit. Okay. We try to find like, kind, quality. Overall condition, mileage, the options. Let's say it comes back at 36. Okay. Then they're going to pay you whatever's less, state limit or the actual cash value. So they would pay 36 minus your deductible.
Oh, okay.
If the value comes back at 44, well, you're only insured up to 38, so they're going to pay you whatever's less, 38.
Oh, okay.
So that's where, yeah, you are insured up to 38, but if the value is not there, they're only going to pay you what the truck is worth, minus your deductible. Unfortunately, that's a fine line with stated limits, is that someone may think, oh, my truck's worth $60,000 and it's only worth $40,000. Well, now you're paying on premiums for $60,000 in coverage, but they're only going to pay you the value of their unit, which is $40,000. Or if you undervalue it to kind of save on premiums, like I just had one, this guy's driving around, has a stated limit of 20, but the damn thing's worth probably over 40. He's only getting 20.
And this engine was just rebuilt.
Was it?
Yeah, it's got like 60,000 miles.
Invoices on that as well?
Oh, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, anything you can give me, because what we'll do is when we do the value, we will accommodate, depending on how long ago it was, only on the parts. So, if you drop, I don't know how much it would drop, but it would only be on the parts only, not labor. Because labor can fluctuate. You can have someone in your backyard do it, or you can have Cummins themselves at $200 an hour do it. So that's why we don't incorporate labor. It's only the parts. So if you do have the invoices for that, send it to me. But ultimately, yeah, I'm going to work a quick value on it, just to support, hey, vehicle's got enough value, let's get this damn thing repaired.
You don't incorporate the labor?
No, just the parts.
So they won't pay for the labor? Or what?
Well, when we do the evaluation.
Oh.
So let's say you drop 12 grand on rebuilding the engine. I'm going to look at your parts. How much were the parts? All right, parts were 6,000. 6,000 were labor. How long ago was it? I'm going to maybe give you 25%, depending on, let's say you did it last month, then I'd give you like 80% of just the parts in terms of value on the unit.
Oh.
So that's where the adjustments will come in.
Oh.
So let's say the value comes back at 36, but then you did the rebuild, then I'll take a percentage of just the parts on what you paid and put that towards the 36. So it'd bump your value up to probably around 38. I'm just using it as an example. So the invoices that you submit, I'll have to just review, see how long ago it was, first and foremost. Anything outside of 3 years doesn't make much difference on the value. If it's within the 3 years, as long as you don't have, $300,000-$400,000 on the overhaul, then we're like, all right, we'll apply a certain percentage on the parts only, not the labor. So
I was trying to determine the actual value of the truck.
Right. Because, obviously, with all this, we'll pay parts and labor, But in terms of working the value, based on what you've already done to the unit, say you overhauled the transmission, or replaced the transmission with a reman, I would look at the cost of the reman, not the labor to install it, and then give you that back, a percentage, based on how long ago you did it. So that's kind of how the evaluation works. You got all aluminum wheels, power locks, power windows, Jake brake. So we're going to take into account all of that. We're going to try to find vehicles in this area, or Tennessee. This vehicle's registered out of Tennessee.
Yeah.
So we look at it as close to Tennessee as possible. Now, if there's nothing that's available, then we'll start expanding our search, pretty much to the southeast region.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
Yeah,
I'll find.
He wants to keep this truck. Yeah.
Right.
Put a lot of work in it.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, I can definitely see it. So if, let's say it does total, normally the insurance company would give the owner first opportunity to retain the salvage for the high bid.
Oh, okay.
Right now I don't see it totaling, but again, once I start working values and we get it to the shop, oh hey, you need a new transmission, and it got into a harness, then all of a sudden the price starts going up. And if their labor rates, service 135 or higher, and we got to drop 20 hours in there plus all the parts, it's going to drive it through pretty good. If you guys are close to the value, let's say you have it at 38, 75% is about the threshold, even 70%, just in case there are supplements or additional supplements. So how much would that be? 28. So if this thing, or I'm trying to think here, 70 times 3. So yeah, if we start getting around 25 to 26,000 in repairs, that's going to be getting close to the threshold. But right now, just looking at what we have, I don't see it's going to be that high.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially if we don't have to replace the transmission, or if they don't have to start pulling the floor of the sleeper. It's just this panel here. I don't see it getting that high. Especially if you guys already paid for this chassis fairing. Batteries aren't that expensive. The battery box or the holder is not that expensive. Even the DPF system here, you're not into the filters, which is good, is on the other side.
$700.
Right.
Pull out.
If it was the other side, forget it. I mean, you're looking at probably upwards of 10 to 15. The DPF one box on the other side.
Oh yeah, we just had that.
Did you?
We just had that.
Oh yeah, that's expensive. It did get into the fuel tank, and these rails, they're not that expensive. I don't think. It's been a while since I replaced one of these rails. And then the cab chassis mounted, cab splash shield, a couple $100.
Yeah,
So
that
you're-
was a lucky hit. Lucky she, there was cushion here.
Right.
Both sides. Her car was made to squish. This was filled with depth.
Right. Yeah. So I don't see it. I wouldn't worry too much about it. But just have it in the back of your mind, just in case we get it there. Next thing you know, they're saying we need a new transmission. And based on the year of the unit, we would have to use reman, of course. We're not going to slap a brand new 84 transmission in it, but we're not going to put junk in it either. So, now in terms of the side panel damage on the other side, that was something else.
We just took it off. We were gonna do the whole body work. So we got all that off.
Ooh, my God.
These steps, they're hard to find. I saw some are $100 and $200, I think, on the other side. These latches, I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're not cheap at all. Like I said, I'll report back to Northland. If you can try to make arrangements to have this unit towed to the shop. And in the meantime, I'll reach out to the shop here either sometime later on today, if not tomorrow, just to get